What are roadblocks to recognize before or during that process that people should be aware of that this can happen and then you can overcome that?
Do you mean roadblocks to showing up in this way? Or
Exactly, exactly.
I think that one of the things I notice the most is there's a fear. I think there's a deep fear that
Mhm,
you're going to lose something of value.
mm,
And usually, if somebody is not in a great relationship, they fear going into a container with me, for example, or a container with you, or they fear getting help because they feel like they're going to lose that relationship. And what is it going to mean for me if I go and do this work? And then I'm going to
mm,
have to choose, and then I'm going to have no one in my life, and I'm going to be alone.
mm,
And I can tell you, like, when I first started this work as a student, as a whatever you want to call it, I was terrified. I'm not going to lie. It terrified me because my truth, the potential of what I would step into and what my truth was terrified me because I didn't know what I was going to have to lose in order to have that truth. And I can tell you right
what
now,
made you go through with it?
what made me go
What
through with
made
it,
you
I think for this exact reason. It was no longer okay for me to disappear in order to stay in connection. I just wasn't I said no to that. I said a hard no because it was leading me down a path. It was so unhappy and so dark. And I thought anything I owe it to my children, to be honest. It was my kids probably. I owe it to my kids to show them how to move through life even when things get tough. And I'm going to step into that and I remember feeling I really had that sense of I want to be happy. I just want to be happy. And I was prepared to be happy at all costs. And I think you have to get to a place where it's like, what do you want? What kind of life do you want to live? You do have to put yourself a little bit in the center of the circle and say, what do
mm,
I want? And that's what I did
mm,
in that moment. And I was just not prepared to live the way I was living anymore. And I had to say it out loud in order to actually make that a really strong verbal declaration for myself. And that's what kicked me off. But I was terrified. I really was. And a lot of people who come into my orbit, some of them are really afraid of themselves. But if you are terrified, if it's something that really scares you, I can tell you that it's the most expansive and empowering space to live in.